Wow. What a trip that was, you guys. Holy cow. We did so much this trip. So today is episode 1 of this trip. This is my grandparents' trip, the 4th of July week trip. Very, very hot week. So this week's episode is a trout fishing video where we went in and actually scouted out these trout by swimming down through the river. First of all, hiking way upriver about 10 miles, and then swimming back underwater and, checking where these trout were, finding the good holes, and then fishing them. Now in the following episodes, it's going to be a little different. We did some pike fishing, we did some walleye fishing, and we did a couple other like river exploration things. And I think you guys will like those. So if you guys want to see those, be sure to drop a sub and hit the notifications bar, and you guys will see those coming out within the next few weeks. Now, like I said, for this week's episode, we walked down the river, and very hot day, probably one of the hottest days of the year. So we decided, hey, the fishing's going so slow in our big lake that we always fish in. It's going so slow just because all of a sudden it went from being like 60 degrees or like 70 degrees to all of a sudden like 94 for like 3 days in a row. So that's a big change in the water, and the bass, and I guess all the fish in that body of water were really struggling. So we decided, you know what? Since it's so hot out, we're gonna go to the river. We're gonna do a hike. And we're gonna find out where these fish were. So we're finding some raspberries all along the way here. It is hot, you guys can see the sweat on our faces. But it's all gonna be worth it because it's gonna be really cold in the river. We're just kind of working alongside of it right now with the fam. This is so cool. Crystal clear water, you guys. It literally doesn't get any clearer than it. You guys will see. Yeah, it's so shifty. I don't know if you guys can see, but the river is way down there. This is insane. I found the trail. It's at the top of the hill. I'm going down. We are literally clinging to the trees. Almost just died. Coming from way up there. We're going back down again. Well, we finally made it to the dam. Now we're just gonna kind of walk down a little bit and kind of clear out from all these fishermen, because there's a lot of guys down around here fishing. We don't want to get in their way. There's fish all through these holes here, so we're gonna get some good footage. After swimming down through, we decided it was time to go fishing. Now, something we learned from these guys is they weren't necessarily in the deepest spot. They were kind of in the flats almost. Not the super shallow parts, but they weren't in the super deep parts either. And we also realized these guys were very sensitive. Anytime you try and swim up on them, they were gone, especially the big ones. I couldn't even get video of them. So we knew we had to be very quiet going in. And then what we ended up using was these little, real small hooks, probably size 1 hooks, if that. And then a little worm and then a little weight, and we would just kind of bounce them along the river. Again, not necessarily in those deep spots, but in those semi-deep spots, kind of along the way. Alright, we got the first rainbow trout of the day. Beautiful fish. That's a nice and big one there. Yeah. Nice, Pete. Trout on. Nice work. Is that a brown this time?
You do it.
No, it's another rainbow.
Yes, sir. Oh man, he took it
Oh
deep.
man.
Oh no.
Yeah, these guys are aggressive down through here. Nice, Dad got one too. What is that one? Smallmouth? About 10 inches. All right, Ben, step up, kid. Got a little trout on. Nice little bow. Tons of rainbows.
You better find and hold them up here.
Yep.
You got fires?
Another rainbow.
Yep, low guys.
Smallest of the day here, not a keeper, so.
I wouldn't say smallest of the day.
No, it is.
I mean, come on.
Got him. Little trout. All right. All right. Another beautiful trout. Just gonna revive him here. All right, there he is. Great coloration. Show him the coloration on the top, Ben. He's got, you know, a different lighter color down there, and then as it comes up, it's definitely more brown. So this is a great brown trout. First of the day, those red spots are so pronounced. Nice work, Ben. Let's get another one.
All right.
This is really big.
You're gonna lose it.
No, he's not. Oh my goodness.
Get him away from the water is what I say.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that beautiful fish, you guys. Okay, we were catching, I dove through this river like you guys saw. I didn't see one nearly this size. This is a monster for this area. Oh man, that was fun. He crunched on that crayfish.
Nice rainbow.
Little guy.
Just a little guy.
Slippery guy. Really slippery.
Alright, let's see the release.
And that concludes this week's episode of Trout Outdoors. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, drop a like and a sub. We're on the road to 100 subs. We're almost there. You guys thought I need improvements, let me know down in the comments. And I'll definitely try to work on those things. So yeah, in all, this was such a fun episode to film. We got to get out and swim through the river on the hottest day of the year. We got to catch these trout. And to be honest, I've barely caught any trout in my life. So this was very cool. You know, we're up in northern Michigan, up in those rivers up there. And it was just awesome doing this episode. And yeah, you guys, I'll talk to you all later. Try it outdoors.